take your load off, grab a seat, pull up a chair, prop up the feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time.
Here we go.
Anyway,
Already.
welcome to Yell It Out the Window and Fine by Me.
It's our 100th episode.
It is our 100th episode.
How mad were you whenever we didn't ask you to be on this podcast with us?
I didn't even know y'all was doing
See?
it.
Thank
Real
God.
mad.
Thank
Brittany,
God.
bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Would you like to introduce our guest?
Yes, this is Brittany Alford. She was me and Josh's co-host on our first podcast,
The
Yell It
OG?
Out the Window.
Yeah.
The
Am I
OG3?
supposed to be looking at that?
Yes.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Not really.
Just be comfortable.
Yeah.
No, funny, that's the reason I know these two guys.
Yeah.
Well, me and Josh kind of knew each other a little bit prior.
Yeah, man.
Through sharing Facebook memes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then y'all started doing y'all's pod or whatever, and I was like,
How many episodes did we get in? Was it like 7?
14, I think, is on.
I didn't realize
It's
it was
still
14.
on Apple.
I was
Yeah.
drunk for all of those
Yes.
episodes.
Sometimes blacked out.
We
The
were-
last two, I think I was
Different time in our
sober.
lives.
Yeah, I think I was sober the last two because I just got back from rehab.
We would,
Space camp.
Space camp.
yeah, space camp. Yeah, it's,
They wrote me a letter when I was in treatment, and it was to Josh at Space Camp, and I was like, Space Camp? Of course, I didn't have any contact to the outside world.
That's
Like,
what
are
we
they
told.
talking about?
We had Wes was one of our 5 faithful listeners, and we always just kept telling him Josh is at space camp right now. Yeah.
well, funny enough, it was just a few months ago that Josh said he sent me a letter while he was in space camp.
Right.
You never got it?
I don't know that I ever.
I
He
sent
didn't
it to
check
him.
his mail that year.
He didn't. He got it. He didn't read it.
Well, it was probably a good portion
He
of it. I
said-
just didn't think about checking my mail.
What is
Yeah.
this junk mail?
Yeah, handwritten,
I don't
trash.
even read it. Yeah, I don't even read
Probably some
emails.
realtor.
Yeah, yeah.
No, Jehovah's Witnesses. They write me all the time.
Remember when you had that with the
Yeah.
Mormon?
Yeah, Brittany's had Jehovah's Witness stalkers for a long time.
Quite some time. Yeah.
They are begging for her membership. You're valuable to the witness.
I still feel like you had something to do with that.
Man, I wish, because that's the best joke anybody could do on somebody.
Yeah.
Besides, Wes has a website that you can, if a spam caller calls you, you can put their phone number in or their email, and they will send them 1,400 emails a day, something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true too.
Is that why I've been getting so many spam emails?
Maybe.
I had,
I actually forgot about that.
I had a Cambodian after my 401k the other day. And Wes, I released Wes onto them.
A Pacific Islander was after his moolah.
My pot of gold! Yeah.
I wish I could remember it. I've been getting so many of the like spam texts here lately, and I
I
always
don't think I get any spam text ever.
I do, and I always mention,
What is it?
They just say hey.
I've been
Hey.
getting a bunch about
They just
Yeah.
say, hey. Hey, what's up?
looking for friends. I
up
get
with
a
you,
bunch
hey?
about my resume has been viewed,
Yeah.
and they are interested.
Do you have a resume?
I mean, I got a hell of a resume. It ain't on paper, you know.
I don't think I've ever made a resume for a job.
I probably have made a resume for a job, but
Oh, I for sure had one.
they don't give a shit about the rodeo clowning
No.
and being sponsored by Red Bull for one day, and you know.
I know. See, I was really hoping to add like a barbecue enthusiast to mine.
Hey, you got
No thanks, Tutley.
you got rodeo announcer on there now though.
Oh yeah, that's on there. It was
Yeah.
pretty cool to add. I was just excited about adding 2 things in 1 week to the resume.
Yeah, it's a big week. It's a big week for the Willoughby family.
Rodeo announcer, and then 5 days later, barbecue
Judge.
judge.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
It was late.
Oh, you didn't make it.
apparently I was too late. Even
Oh,
though totally I showed up.
how convenient.
I showed up 10 minutes
He's looking
before.
deep in the camera.
Yeah.
10 minutes
Jeez.
before you told me to be there. I was there, and you said you're too late. And then
Oh, the phone was
Tutley,
gone.
you lost by 2 points. Just think.
If you'd have been there, you could have been the vote that swayed.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
2 points.
2 points. That's what Tut lost. The barbecue.
How many
thing by-
people were in the competition though?
Are you getting?
I don't know, 6.
Are you getting revenge because his wife beat me in the skit competition at church camp? Is this you kind of lashing out at their family on my behalf? Would you say?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on. I don't
We
know
have a
what's going on
guy.
either.
We have a guy that helps us a lot named Tutley.
His name's Travis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his wife was my best friend when I was like 5 years old.
Yeah.
And her cabin beat my cabin at church camp for the skits for the last 3 years. Now, I haven't been going for the trophy. I've been going for my own personal amusement. Like last year, we did a rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen that was described as a mushroom fever dream.
Can you give us a little bit of a sampler?
I see a little silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, Scaramouche. Will you do the Van Danto thunderbolts of lightning, very, very frighteningly? Galileo, Galileo,
Galileo.
Galileo,
Galileo.
Figaro, Magnifico.
Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia.
I'm just wondering if this is what they were like when they were drinking.
No, it's way worse.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I never hung out with either of these guys.
No, dude, you don't
I
even
think
know
we're
me,
better
really.
hang now.
You don't even know me, really.
Yeah.
I'm betting I don't.
No,
I mean, I've
you
known
do.
these guys for, I guess,
You do.
4 or 5 years now or whatever.
Yeah.
And neither of them I've known. I've seen Nick drink one glass of wine.
Yeah.
Have you a
Before
nice-
a comedy show.
Have you a nice Chardonnay? Were you on your
yeah.
period?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were zany.
One
My
glass
iron
of
was
white
low
wine.
because my uterus lining was
yeah.
clearing my
Shedding.
body.
Jeez,
I was
Louise.
shedding my
You'll know the
uterus.
dude we were with. He was
Adam Workman was drunk.
He got lit
Who
up.
were we watching?
Mark Norman.
Art.
Yeah, I think it was Mark
Okay.
Norman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
But anyway,
How-
it's
how
just
are y'all
funny
doing?
that you know them and did
Oh, dude.
14 episodes or whatever of them while they were drinking.
We were real bored in 2020.
That's true, man. We did start this podcast during the pandemic, right? I had just lost my leg.
Yeah.
I had just lost my leg. I was still
Could
drinking.
still feel it.
Oh yeah, I could still feel it for sure. And
Yeah.
it was I remember going out there and we did it in that shop at your old house. It
Yeah.
would be so cold,
Yeah.
just freezing, and you had to drink to stay warm.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Every one of us.
I
Josh
say
would
it's
bring
still cold all the time.
Yeah, I'm
Josh
still
would
cold.
bring
He's like a woman.
a fifth of bourbon. I would bring, or Brittany would bring like a box,
box
of
of
wine,
wine.
and I would
Yeah.
have a 30-pack of Michelob Ultra.
I remember that one day we showed up. You had them little airplane bottles all over the table, just all, everything, and he was just
Yeah.
already drunk. It was the afternoon. I remember that Christy, we went together to like the third or fourth episode, and it was on a Saturday. And Brittany never got as toasted as me and Nick did. I will say that, but I
Because we
remember-
needed it.
I think there was one night where like I did not remember things.
We tried to record it while you're at Space Camp. We tried to record an episode at El Potrero.
Yeah, I remember y'all.
And
talking
I don't
about-
think we ever pressed record, but we just ate dinner and talked in microphones all night.
that's pretty sick.
In front of people.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never to be
At
heard
the
by
bar.
anybody.
Had this
Board.
had this mixing board on the bar at El Potrero.
I think we asked permission, and
Well,
he
yeah.
probably didn't understand what we
No,
were
dude.
saying.
Yeah, there's a plug. He said
Yeah, I
plug.
need an outlet. What?
He must be trying
Plug-o.
to charge your
El
phone.
Plug-o.
But I remember like we got in the car after like that episode, and it wasn't even dark yet, and it was in the wintertime, so
Yeah.
it was early, and she was like already 4:30, and you're plastered, dude. And I'm like, what?
What? This is
And then
Saturday.
I
dude.
remember getting down the road, dude, because we were headed back to Clarksville, and I remember getting to about Russellville, and like I didn't have any beer or nothing with me, so I was like kind of like that, like mid sober, starting to get hungover a little bit, hungry, hadn't ate all day, and then all of like the guilt trip hitting me too of like I'm already fucked up at like 4:30. Just started dating this girl who's like my soulmate, you know what I mean? So she definitely was just like, I get now. Like back then, I didn't think nothing was wrong with that.
Yeah.
Now I'm
No.
like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just crazy how
I
like,
thought
your
we was
brain,
having a good time.
That's what I thought too.
Everybody was having a good
I remember walking out of there and like, yeah, that was a fucking great episode. Bang up job.
Bang up job.
Killed this episode, dude. Barely made it to the car. It's not even dark yet. Get into the car. Stumble on my brand new like pirate leg. It didn't even bend yet. I'm just hobbling.
I thought you didn't have a leg yet.
No, I had
why
like-
does my foot hurt so much?
I had like my starter like leg that didn't even bend, and it was too short, so I was just like hobbling. And I remember getting in the car, I'm like, "Did we kill that fucking episode?" Get going down, get into his driveway,
We're gonna be millionaires.
and she just gives me that look, and I'm like, "What? What?" I thought everybody was having fun.
No, I'm pretty sure the first one we just met up to party, and
We
it
did,
never,
dude.
it never got released.
Everybody was happy to just get out of the house.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
we did not listen to the any of the stay-at-home orders or nothing. We was crossing state lines.
Yeah.
We was recording, meeting in person, no mask.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
didn't do any of that
Well,
either.
Tennessee was a whole different place. Tennessee
Yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
like.
I came up here and played golf and did all kinds of stuff. I mean, like there was like a good 2 months in the beginning where I was a little bit worried.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, I was
the
for
world
sure.
might be ending. And then after 2 months, I was like, I mean, if it is, like, I mean,
I remember they told us like, "Hey, man, you can catch this shit on your porch." Like, what the fuck do you mean catch it? Like, I believed that shit for a little while. I was like, dude, 6
man.
foot, might as well make it 12, double it up.
I'll never forget. I can't believe we're talking about 2020 right now, but because I probably said this before, but
It's like the second time we've ever talked about COVID.
is
Maybe.
it?
Yeah,
probably-
we haven't
might
talked
be,
about it
because
much.
We don't
Maybe.
really bring it up.
No,
But there was my neighbors were just begged me to mow my yard. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. Then I remember like it was the week that COVID, like everybody was like shut everything down. March, like late March. or
yeah, it was
something.
March 18th, my son's birthday. They shut the
And
world down.
they-
I will never
and
forget.
That was the first time that my yard needed to be mowed. And the dude came over and was like, "You ready for us to start?" I was like, "Yeah." I mean, like at that time, I talked to him through my screen door.
Yeah.
But he was out there, and I don't remember. I went out there to ask him, like, I was like, "How do you want me to pay you this year or something?" Dude jumped off his mower because he was like, "Whoa, COVID! What are you doing getting so close to me?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking? Why are you so
Well-
scared?" I was like, "I ain't been anywhere."
That was probably one of my favorite parts. Like, I didn't mind y'all touching me, but a stranger, I'm like, get the fuck
Back
back.
up,
Get the fuck
dude. Back up.
Well, I mean, like the lawnmower was loud, so I was just trying to be like, "Hey, man, like, do you want me to Venmo you this year,
Right.
or
Whoa.
you want me to write you a check?"
He just
Like,
leave the mower go and jump off the mower.
He
Mower's
did.
still
Like,
going.
no, he didn't shut that thing off at all. He jumped off of it. He was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" And he, very country-looking fella. Like, I would never, dude.
Yeah, he
definitely
looked a lot tougher than that.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like germs though, you know what I mean? But I do remember like after like COVID, like 2021, whenever it was still like some orders, but nothing like crazy. People, I would use the excuse all the time, like, man, we probably shouldn't get together, dude. You know, COVID. I guess I'll have to
I
stay
miss you,
home.
though.
I guess I'll have to stay home.
You know my
tonight.
immune system.
dude, I used it. It was mine, dude. I was like thriving during the lockdowns because I'm like, if
No, I
everybody else
didn't
is at
mind
home,
not leaving the house or anything, but I didn't treat it weirdly or anything.
I did at first. Like I said, I was a little nervous at first, but you know me, I get a little.
But I stayed around like all of my really close friends the whole time.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like there wasn't anybody asking me to do anything.
Melissa had it like a month ago. She tested positive.
It's crazy, dude.
Melissa, you son of a...
I didn't even know that.
I gotta go.
I was driving to Nashville every day.
People still catching COVID. Ooh.
Yeah. I was driving to Nashville every day, and I was getting to
ancient
Nashville in
disease.
like 20 minutes because
yeah.
I would see like 4 cars on the interstate.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
loved it.
I liked the early. You could go to Walmart early because I was like immunocompromised. So they let the old people and the sick people go in like an hour before everybody else at Walmart. So from like 7 to 9, dude, there was like nobody in there but old people. So it was that I was in there faster than them. I was like, man.
Let me get this bread before anybody
Yeah,
else.
Ever
dude.
seen that Cat Williams?
First thing that I'm in there.
That Cat Williams stand up where he's
Every
got-
day I'm hustling.
Yeah, he's got the DJ playing every
a-
day I'm
that's a
hustling.
great
He's
bit.
like, I could be in the grocery store. Now to get me every day I'm hustling, hustling,
Man.
hustling.
That's a good bit.
That was me. That was Josh.
That was me.
Yeah.
I'd be riding dirty on that
Hover
scooter.
around it. I mean, gosh darn, flowing through there, not skipping a beat.
Here we are.
Man.
Here we are.
4
Here
legs
we are. It
later,
didn't
100
matter at
episodes.
all. It was just normal flu.
Yeah. Like, no.
I never called it. Knock on wood, dude. I never called it. Like with my
I did
immune
2
system.
years after the big stink over it.
Yeah.
And it was not that. I mean, it was like 2 days.
My brother had it like 6 times. He's one of those that just kept
Well,
getting
it
it.
was, I mean, that year that it was 2020. I kept going to shows. I kept going out like to the places that were still open. Like I never stopped
With
really doing what I would normally do.
well, shit, hell, me and Christy started dating during COVID, you know. So I mean, she was coming down to Tennessee and stuff, like pretty much every weekend or every other weekend if I didn't have the
Oh, you
kids.
was in Clarksville.
Yeah, I was in Clarksville then. Speaking of family, we had the cookout July 4th. Real quick, just so I don't forget. So my whole family's there. Like we don't hardly ever get together. We're at my stepmom's house. So she has like this like patio, and it kind of steps down to like these table and chairs, like a fire pit and stuff. So there was people sitting there, and there's people sitting on the top porch of like this table, and there's people inside. So like about 30 minutes in, I go outside, and she's got all this like huge like Bluetooth speaker, and she's playing like R&B music. So I'm like, this is pretty sick. Chill, like Otis Redding's playing, like sitting by the dock on the bay or whatever. I'm like, this is fun, man.
I went to R. Kelly, but you
No, dude, I would like soul music or whatever. Well, then "Let's Get It On" by Marvin Gaye comes on. I'm like, this is a little odd. It's always, whatever. This could just be like
Is
on
this
like a
your
Spotify
stepmom's
playlist.
lovemaking
So
playlist?
So anyway, so I'm like,
That's
this
what
is a good
plays the
song.
bedroom.
I love Marvin Gaye, so I'm listening. So I go in the house and like I don't hear it. So like I come back out, it's playing again, but it's a different part of the song. I'm like, maybe it's like just like some kind of shuffle is coming back around. Dude, that song played like 17 times in a row. I guess like one of my nieces or nephews, they got the phone and like grabbed it, and somebody else grabbed it from me and plugged it back up, and nobody else noticed. And I'm like, oh well, so we'll just I'm looking up, I'm like, is this the song again? I didn't tell nobody. But anyway,
I
just thought
heard
that was
a
funny.
techno version of Erica today.
There's Pearl.
What is that? A techno version of Erica?
You know what Erica is?
I don't.
No.
It's the like the Nazi march.
Jeez, dude. No, I don't know that. I don't have that on my every morning wake up
Yeah.
playlist. Or
Erica's
whatever.
a really. I mean, Erica's has nothing to do with the Nazis. They just used it as.
This
like
is
march.
Did
a
he just
great
say?
transition into
I'm talking about America's holiday.
little segment that we might kind of just try to freestyle here. Brittany, professionally, is an HR.
An HR.
Yeah.
She's in HR
An HR manager.
consultant.
And she's an HR manager.
Yeah.
She
So,
manages HR.
Yeah.
Oh, she does too. I didn't know
I'll-
that.
yeah.
To be honest. I thought we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's why we were gonna have Christy on as well.
Right.
Oh, I thought we were going to have Christy on to protect her.
No.
Well, she might do.
Well,
I was told that's what Chris said before I left. She goes, you're going to have to take up for Brittany. And I said, Brittany will be all right.
yeah. We won't pick on her until she's on like second or third
Yeah,
guest
as first
episode.
she gets
yeah.
a pass.
Yeah.
So I won't be back.
Right, yeah, fair warning.
But yeah, Nazi's a great place to start with some HR talk, you know. And I just got out of the shower and I was like, I put on an outfit that this guy looks like an HR issue.
Yeah.
I look like I
Yes.
do not align with the
if you
system.
went to like an office dress like that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't. I mean,
Hard
studio.
pass.
They wouldn't let you in.
studio-
Office rules are tough for men that dress like this.
I don't
Rodeo
think men that dress
clowns.
like that work in offices.
A lot of,
No.
a lot of dick jokes.
You know, you were talking about your resume earlier.
Yeah.
I would have laughed at that one, and it would have been
Oh.
But I'm good for company morale.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
He's just here for life insurance.
Yeah.
Look at this
Just
guy.
here for the bennies.
You're the personality hire. That's what we call you.
I am pooping for 45 minutes during every work day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Are there personality hires?
Way more than that.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll get someone in there, and I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, do you?
Right. They just be able. They can just
talk
morale.
their way into a
Yeah.
high ranking. I know a lot of
I've done
people
that.
that weren't worth a damn on the job site and ended up in the office.
Until you got to do some real work.
We had one guy that started on the concrete division. Wasn't worth a damn. They moved him to dirt work. None of the dirt work guys liked him. They moved him to asphalt. None of the asphalt guys. So they put him in the office. He ended up being third in command and couldn't do any of those jobs.
He was good at that, though.
And
you
nobody
know,
liked it.
no,
politics.
nobody liked him. The president liked him. That was
That's
it.
all. Hey,
That's you're one in. Right
That's
there.
all you need. He was
Son.
paying for trips to Miami on the company credit card by the time the bankruptcy came around.
So he was
Sounds
the
like a
issue.
really.
Yeah, he's part of the problem.
So they're pro at making good financial decisions.
A real tight run organization.
With other
sounds
people's
like.
money, yeah. You can do whatever you want.
Well,
true, I
that's why
guess.
they ended up going broke.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're doing now as a country.
Who cares?
What is the $30 trillion worth of debt anyway?
Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
Do you have any fun HR things, stories you can talk about that come to mind? Do you?
Like the craziest thing you may have had hit your desk?
Well, so I was kind of telling Nick this one. In the last year, this guy, he had been a problem for 1 to 2 years. You bored?
No, he's checking the thing because everything got quiet. Okay.
Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm not used to not being able to see it.
Okay.
Oh, because you got to turn
He had
around.
been a problem for the last 1 to 2 years. Well, one day he just lost it, like screaming, yelling, and I was like, "You got to leave, buddy." And
Bud, you got to go.
I
Hey, bud.
told Nick he ended up filing an EEOC claim against us, which he said we fired him because of discrimination, when really he was just a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't play well with others.
does not,
Right.
does not.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
And the case took like a year, but I ended up winning it.
That's what I'm talking about. That is way too small for
Was
your
it
head,
Smith
buddy.
and Smith? Did it Smith and
It's small
Smith?
for my head.
I bet Smith and Smith represented her. That's how she won.
Yeah. HR.
No, so he was so delusional and like in denial. He went around town telling people that he settled outside of court.
God. Just to make a lie up.
Yeah. Just
I mean, technically,
He did. In his head, he's
not in his favor.
shit settled.
Yeah. Nah, we're good.
He he's like, well, how much did you get? Not a damn thing.
People like that just repeat shit that they've heard on the radio. Yeah.
We settled outside of court.
Yeah. I heard Tucker Carlson say this one time.
Yeah. It's like they answer questions with a question.
No,
Like, I don't
it's
know.
just, like the smartest decision you can make as an employee, just do the opposite.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like they act sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people can't make good decisions.
Me every
Right,
day.
Wes?
I had an HR woman.
They probably got problems at the house. I promise you that.
Oh, for sure. Everybody does.
Well,
I
you're a
had
walking problem.
an HR woman tell me one time
Walking.
I was getting ready to leave a job, so I put my 2 weeks notice in. I just walked. I was probably 22 years old, and I said, "I'm getting ready to leave." And she goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I have a new career." She goes, "A career? Let's be real." And I was like,
Why are you burning me right now?
"That's what she said." She goes, "A career? Let's be real."
Really?
I said,
Really?
"Yeah." I thought I was really big shit. This took me all the way down. I was like, all right. But she was right. I didn't stay there very long. It wasn't a career.
This is sort of related. I guess it's a job story more than anything. But I saw somebody post about how salvia used to be just sold at gas stations.
Yeah.
I never did salvia.
We did on spring break, senior year. We found
What's it do?
Oh, it's super hallucinogenic for
People were dying, right?
3 or 4
No, that was that
minutes.
K2
Maybe.
shit or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
K2.
K2, that.
But salvia would last 5 minutes in real
At
world
most,
time.
yeah.
In
But-
real world time.
But
Yeah.
man,
Like
it would send
Interstellar?
you into a different dimension, buddy.
Golly.
I will. So the story that I just actually told somebody a couple days ago that brought up salvia to me. Sorry, Dad.
You've been more disappointed, I promise.
Yeah, I've told him worse than this.
Wes's
I'm sure.
parents are some of our top listeners. Yeah.
I had not been at College Suites in Bowling Green very long at this point, so I hadn't really even been in college very long, and I worked at GameStop at the time.
Of course.
And I remember,
Look at him.
yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Tracks.
Yeah.
It's on his resume.
100%.
I got to the door, and always at my apartment there were at least 5 or 6 other people that did not live there, that were just there in general. And I got to the door, and a guy, I don't even remember who it was at this point, to be honest, but he was like, "Hey, but I could beat you to the kitchen if we both take a hit of salvia."
Yeah.
I was literally walking out the door to go to work, and I was like, do you double dog dare me?
Man,
I don't recall who won, but that was the worst shift of my life. I literally walked in, and my boss at the time just said, "Go back there and like count stuff."
yeah.
Go sweep. Go sweep.
We can't have you out front with the customers.
You should go sweep.
Well, I mean, like if you also, I wasn't real. I've never been a big weed smoker in general, and like if you do salvia, you've got to like sprinkle it on something to light it to like get it going.
Oh, so
whatever.
it's like a additive to
I
another
don't
drug.
remember that part.
So the whole time you're doing this, though, you're like, yeah, this is a great idea.
This is good, man.
Oh, there you
I
go.
mean, I was
Do the
19.
opposite.
Yeah, it was.
Do
seemed
the
like
opposite of what you think.
Always.
I mean, it honestly didn't seem like a good idea. It was just somebody double dog dared me.
It was
I
something
like,
to do.
It was like, yeah.
That was half my problem growing up. I needed something to do.
And
Bored.
not a
didn't lose
strong
that
male role model. Not nobody to whoop his ass when he got home.
Hey, I didn't lose that job. I never got fired.
They needed you. Valuable member of the team.
Your poor mom got to a certain age and was like, well, I can't do shit with him no more.
They didn't have HR at GameStop.
Yeah, and I also remember working like Black Friday or something there one year, and they just base it. And even at that time,
Probably the worst day to work at GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 270 or so now, but at the time I was 190. So imagine me 80 pounds lighter. And
Yeah.
they just told me, they were like, you're too big to be in here. Just go to the hall and like wrangle people to come in.
Oh, there's an HR complaint right there if I've ever heard one. They
You
are
might have a case on that one.
size discriminating me.
I was just too bad. They were just like, you're just too tall and you just take up too much room. You just got to go out there. And I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
Can you believe the way they
So I
treated our
didn't
buddy?
So all I
Probably.
did that whole day was just stand out in the Greenwood Mall and be like, hey, you want to buy some fucking video?
We got games here.
And this, folks, is why stereotyping cuts out half the work.
That's all I did. They didn't have a sign for me or
100%.
nothing. I was just out there being like, GameStop's open if y'all didn't know.
Everybody, Dad, we go in a place like that. Man, don't ask him. He don't know shit. Everybody at them places, anybody that works at GameStop don't run shit.
Well, I don't know if it's smooth or not, but here's a segue into our first ad of the day.
The
Nothing
first
about you,
one.
smooth buddy.
Smith
brain.
and Smith Law. HR gone too far. Have you recently pulled into a cold beige conference room for making a hilarious...
Jesus.
I found your grizzly from the other week, by the way.
I just split my forehead with it. Thank you. Have you recently been pulled into a cold beige conference room for making a hilarious joke, only to be met with blank stares, awkward coughs, and a 3-day suspension? Wah, wah, wah. Does your HR department consist of humorless weirdos who thinks that's what she said is a federal offense? Then you may be entitled to compensation. Smith and Smith Law Firm is launching a class action lawsuit against HR departments across the nation for being gay, lame, spineless dweebs who wouldn't know a good joke if it knocked over their framed Live, Laugh, Love poster.
Being gay.
Sound of
being
a
gay.
guy laughing at his own joke.
Fake, gay, and retarded.
So, act like you're laughing at your own joke. There you go. Nick Smith. You can't fire Steve just because he wore a Borat thong to a company picnic. That's called culture. And here's Tony Smith.
Where are we at?
Tony Smith.
I know I should have buttoned though. Oh, and last time,
That's not Tony Smith.
and the last time we checked, sarcasm wasn't a hate crime. That's I'm about half Mexican there.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get
You
this
can try
out.
it again. You can try it again.
Hey, and the last time we checked, sarcasm wasn't a hate crime.
I don't know what language that was.
Yeah, I don't know.
So if you've suffered under the iron fist of HR's passive-aggressive Slack messages, call Smith and Smith, where we believe in free speech, casual Fridays, and never apologizing for a solid punchline. If you're going to get fired, you might as well get paid. Smith & Smith is not responsible for actual workplace retaliation. Canceled pizza parties are the one lady in HR who cried over your meme. Lawsuit may not be legally binding in states run by total buzzkills.
Wes
So,
is over here
funny
feeding your
thing
service
is,
dog.
Every time that I have to fire someone, I always get a text message, "You'll hear from my lawyer."
Yeah.
I'm like, buddy, I know how much money you make.
Like what, lawyer?
Yeah. Unless
Have a guy that look like me show up.
you got yeah.
Hair slicked back. I said push back.
Yeah. Unless you got a cousin that's about to take the bar exam.
Right, yeah. That needs some experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take on my
They're going to do it
cousin's
pro bono, no homo.
I was like,
No homo.
I was I worked injury claims for like 3 years, and the amount of times someone's like, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer." I was like, okay.
Go and get your ass on out of here. Come on now, get your ass out of here. Ain't about to hear some shit.
Hey, if they actually have one, then it's out of my. It was off of my plate at the time. So
You send them a link to the food stamp website.
Right. Who do you have on retainer?
Yeah.
You know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean?
I'm Morgan and Morgan.
I got it. Okay, so you know Morgan and Morgan, they're what, injury lawyers?
Yes,
Yeah.
so they'll do about anything,
Oh
I
yeah, I
reckon.
know all about them.
I had a girl tell me one time that I would be hearing from Morgan and Morgan, and
Oh.
I'm like, you know this.
That's the only law firm she could think of.
That's the only law
it
firm
was.
you actually might need to be worried about.
Landon. Oh, thank goodness.
They'll work for free. If they know it's a case they can win, they'll be like, oh, yeah,
We got this.
We're going to take 80% of what you win, though. Yeah, they take all of it.
I did have somebody leave me a voicemail one time because I called them like as soon as I got the claim, and like overnight they called me and left me a voicemail and said, "You'll be hearing from my lawyer, Pound Law. That's all."
Bart Durham.
No, that's Morgan and Morgan.
Oh,
That's
Pound
a- that's
Law.
a- yeah,
If
that's
you
Morgan.
have a structured settlement and
It's
you
J.G.
need
Wentworth.
cash now, call J.G. Wentworth. 877 cash
They
now.
ain't paying no
I need
bills
to
here.
I need to write Sam Crocker a jingle. Crocker and Crocker Law Firm needs an actual
Yeah.
jingle.
There you go.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really do.
Give him.
I want it to be like 80s action movie sitcom, like Crocker and Crocker, bow bow, law firm lawyers that do the deed, yeah. Crocker and Crocker, law firm. These lawyers really fuck, and it's time that you see, yeah.
I like the inflection on all of Nick's characters. It's always the same. Sometimes yell
About
it.
to ask-
No, there's about a rotation of 5. Yeah,
I was about
deep
to-
redneck.
That guy.
Over the top, that guy.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny, like, yeah. Radio DJ
Radio
announcer.
DJ.
Yeah.
That's your best one.
Rodeo clown
What was that
and
one you
redneck
did,
are
the
the
Twisted
same.
Sisters Nutrition? Is that your, like, Val Venus?
That's my Barry White.
Ladies.
Yeah, that's my Barry
Yeah,
White.
that's the one
Yeah.
you saved.
I heard.
yeah.
I listened to that one.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thank God.
About time.
I did a little homework.
Yeah.
Nice, dude. She just caught the highlights.
Did
Looked at the
Nick
highlight
always
reel.
get on Nick's or Josh's nerves as much as he does now that you've seen in the past 45 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
It's
I
Probably
mean,
toned down,
I was
actually.
texting-
It's probably
I
toned
can only
down.
imagine. I'm surprised you haven't killed each other.
I texted Nick the other day and I was like, doesn't sound like much has changed.
Yeah.
Josh about made me throw up in the first 5 minutes. I forgot what you were talking about.
Don't tell us.
I think it was his. He described like his whole leg ordeal.
Oh, yeah.
That was the episode I
Yes.
sent you to listen to. I was
Conclave.
like, here's a warm up lesson or episode for you.
Warm-up lesson.
I combined episode and listen,
Listen.
and that was lesson.
Lesson.
Your lesson for the week, your homework here. Brittany said that she's got a girls trip coming up, so that's going to lead us into our next advertisement.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We're going to pay all the bills right now.
Yeah.
3/4 of the way through, let's go ahead and pay them all.
we on our way up.
Yep.
DUBBY Energy, Lake Weekend Mayhem. Sound of wine bottles clinking, boat motor revving, and women laughing too loud. It's girls' weekend at the lake, and the only thing more dehydrating than these 35-year-old moms is their marriage. Women yelling, "I'm fine," followed by wine chugging. But this year, they're not just bringing wine, coolers, regret, and matching tank tops that say, "Mommy needs a minute." They're bringing DUBBY Energy because it's going to scream, "Woo!" off of a pontoon boat at 1 p.m. on a Sunday, you're going to need something stronger than vodka and denial. Can cracking open, electronic Dubby sizzle. Psst, psst. I think that's what that's
Be a
describing.
sassy little bitch.
Dubby's got no sugar. This White Claw is sassy.
You can put Dubby in White Claw.
Yeah.
You really can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
I've never done it, but you can do it, I'm sure.
I've put it in a vodka soda before, several times.
I had some. Yeah, I accidentally relapsed last week because we have the same Dubby cup, and his was full of vodka. And I was like, ah, here we go.
It's on.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. Dubby's got no sugar, no crash, and just enough caffeine to keep Karen from texting her ex, Hector, the real love of her life, who now lives in Cancun and sells timeshares to richer, younger women.
He's probably from Cancun.
He sounds like an El Salvadorian. Hector.
Venezuela.
Yeah. Sounds like a damn handful.
But don't worry, this lake has plenty of short, suspiciously jacked Latino men named things like Rico and Little Frankie, who may not speak much English, but they will make you feel something. Salsa music and a woman yelling, "Yes, Rico!"
Yes, Poppy.
So power your escape with Dubby Energy. For moms who are done pretending, done cooking, and done waiting for Hector to call back. Because wine is fine, but Dubby is dirty. Like freedom in a can. Now available in Midlife Meltdown Mango and Latino Lover Lemon Lime.
Hector Horchata.
They should take those and run with them.
Yeah.
Some of Hector's homemade horchata.
Midlife Meltdown.
That was gross. I don't like that, Josh.
Gross. That was gross. Thinking
Hector's tit sweat.
I was thinking of Yell Out the Window, and whenever we first started, that dude was going around, like, people would say, "Oh my God, so-and-so in your town has a COVID epidemic," and you'd click on it and be that black dude sitting on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
So we had one of those, and Nathan Killen had, like,
What do you mean you
Photoshop.
had one of those?
We had one of those,
guys?
like one of those pictures.
Oh, okay.
And Nathan Killen had, like, added, like, the picture of all four of us out the window, and he had the picture of the dude's hammer, like, hanging over Brittany's head.
Yeah.
Well, it, like, blended in perfect with, like, the background of Nick's shop.
If you just glanced at it, you couldn't see it.
You couldn't see it, dude. So I made this huge, like, promo thing, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be tight. I'm proud of it. I put it out. So, like, 6 hours goes by, and they send me a message like, "Hey, man, you might want to fix that." I'm like, "What are you talking
Nick
about?"
called me and he said, "Did you approve that?" I was like,
I was HR that day.
And I didn't even notice it. I was like, "What are y'all talking about?"
I didn't know either.
I didn't even, because you couldn't notice it. And they
That's a big red flag. Asking Nick if he approved something.
and I was like, "We gotta take it down
Nick asked
immediately."
Brittany if she approved it. I mean, good Lord.
He sent me a message. I was like, "What is he talking about?" And I was like, "This is fine. This is cool." And it was, sure enough, if you look, it was hanging like right
giant-
beside it, like she was holding it.
A giant
pretty much.
BBC
Yeah.
strung across Brittany's head like a banner.
What
So
was
we've
the
got two problems then, I guess.
Operation
We've got
Midnight
Josh-
Thunder?
Yeah, well, Josh with this image, and then the one episode I've ever edited of us, of Nick.
Oh yeah.
Do you not remember this?
My
Wait,
penis.
no.
He was an HR violation. No, the slurs.
Oh boy, yeah, we had a Smith and Smith ad. It might have been one of our first ones.
It was within the first
Smith
five.
and Smith ad. They were having a class action lawsuit against a hospital named Trinity United Heart, and a lot of the employees at Trinity Heart were
marginalized.
racist, and it listed off. I mean,
All the slurs.
40.
All of them, except for the real bad ones. that you know
52
nobody
52
ever
slurs.
Yeah,
says.
there was no hard R, but
Right.
there was some rough ones in there.
Yeah, and we put it out.
Oh yeah, we threw it.
Didn't think nothing of it. Oh yeah,
That's
fine.
what reminded me of
No
this, is
bleeps?
because
No bleeps. Well, he did.
not for the
add-
first
So-
2 hours.
I was gonna say that's what reminded me of this, of somebody being like, maybe this is a little bit too much.
Even for
It's
y'all, this
because
might be too much.
It was too I woke up to like 3 messages of like, Wes, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
I lost sleep over it that night. I've never lost sleep over a single thing I've ever
Well, at
put
the
out.
time, This is an old story for everybody else. So we're catching Brittany up.
Joe Rogan tells the same stories
But-
every 4
I know,
episodes.
it's
So,
been 1,000.
who cares?
It's our 100th episode.
That's true. He's also a billionaire. So
Yeah, so
we're trying to make money here, okay?
I'm gonna start repeating my stories next week.
I don't want your blood money.
I'm not selling.
But yeah, so that was before
Buy DUBBY Energy.
I even knew how to bleep anything. I didn't know what I was doing. So it was, I mean, even whatever episodes out there now.
We did
like
leave
that.
Honky in, so out of
Oh, yeah,
56,
we left
he,
Honk- we left
he had
Honk.
to figure out how to do
So
55
beep,
bleeps.
beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
honky, beep, 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 cracker, beep,
Yeah, I was gonna
beep,
say
beep,
Cracker
beep.
got left in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the ones that are against white folks.
Nick didn't know how to put in a bleep sound, so when we had to bleep something, it would just be him pausing it and him saying, bleep.
Bleep.
And and then the last couple of
They're all
episodes, I had a soundbite of Brittany dry heaving about something. And I
Yeah,
started
dude.
using that as the bleep. It was her going, maybe we should bring that back.
That episode, that podcast was off the chains, dude.
I will say, I've been telling them the last few weeks actually that we need to find those recordings so that I'll edit
I don't.
them and put
I
them
think
back
I would
out.
be almost embarrassed.
They're on
I would
Apple.
get fired.
You put those out.
Yeah.
Put your name beside them. Like these
We've
are-
I don't remember
had
them being that bad.
We've had employees from the University of Kentucky here. We've had Bowling Green's top-rated mattress salesman on here. We've had
Top-rated.
helicopter pilot.
We've had an Army veteran, the helicopter pilots.
Yeah. Nobody's lost their job yet.
Nobody.
Not yet.
Wes is probably most likely to lose his job if the
I'm
wrong person
ready
gets
to
a hold
lose
of it.
mine, so.
Golly, yeah, when you talk like that. Yeah.
I work for a Fortune 50 company, so like, at any point, if they catch one of these episodes on the wrong day,
We're gonna
Yeah.
start making this a full time job.
It'll be worse than that.
yeah, I'm
It'll
going
be,
to double down hard on this.
it'll be worse than that employee that got caught masturbating in his car.
I don't know if it'd be worse. Than
Maybe
that.
not.
That was Allstate, by the way.
Yeah. He's a liar.
That was Geico.
No, that's definitely a general type situation.
Yeah,
there.
dude, that's
the
the
general.
general.
It was definitely not. It was definitely maybe the company that I work for.
Yeah, there was a video went viral of a guy in a company car in a parking lot just wanking hog.
Wes, tell me it wasn't you.
It was not. No,
Okay.
no. It was not me.
No, the strokes
not
were
me.
the strokes were definitely too short for Wes.
Oh, since we're kind of revisiting
Sorry, Barry.
2020, the Epstein list had just come out. Whenever I was about
What is-
2020,
The
What is
Epstein
this?
list is back
What
in
is
the
this
news.
segue?
I was
saying
listening.
about 2020 because like when we did you out the window.
I understand you
the
and I
Epstein
understand
thing
him at the
had
same
just
time.
started. It just hit me
All right.
before we get off subject.
Hit him like a
it
ton
was-
of dicks.
It did, dude. Man.
Yes. What about the Epstein list? Do you want to know
There is
about?
no there isn't one.
You're a liar, and everybody that says so is also.
I
a
believe
liar.
them, dude. I believe the government. Why would they lie to us?
Tucker Carlson believes him. I saw an episode.
Alex
with him.
Jones broke down crying earlier today. He said
Really?
it was just a daggum. He could not believe it. He could not believe it. So
Pam Bondi said she had a whole stack of the list on her.
well, now
desk.
she said she's tired of answering questions
They
about
said
it.
the
'cause it's not
government
real.
was using Epstein as a scapegoat, and he was innocent.
I like that I'm seeing from the other side, they saying the ones that are saying that Trump is not on the list, they're like for this. They're saying that the deep state already got rid of the list before Trump got in there, and Trump did everything he could to find it.
Okay. If y'all want my
Aren't
real,
they all the deep state?
Yeah, well, for sure.
Right?
Like the swamp, etc.
Deep state of depression.
Yeah.
My,
Not here.
my
Yeah,
viewpoint on it is that the list is there. It's still there, but it's an intelligence operation, and Trump very well might be on it. But
No, he
if
is,
it
I'm
was
sure.
that incriminating against him, then Biden would have put it out.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like,
they would have had it. I mean, you have to use ammunition like that in a campaign.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That is true.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's...
Right, Brittany?
I don't think it would have been Biden. I think it would have been someone that worked.
is Biden even?
Yeah,
Biden's
yeah.
not even alive. Is he?
Oh, good point.
That's true.
The administrator. Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah,
he
he
wasn't
said,
good.
who?
He don't know
who's
what to
Donald
say.
Trump?
Yeah.
They're on their
I
third
was
Joe
meaning-
Biden.
I was meaning the administration as a whole, but
I got you.
Yeah.
but yeah, I was gonna say I don't doubt that maybe Trump has a part in all that, but like I said, if it would have been that damning and not included also people on their side of the aisle, then it would have been out.
That video that I shared you today of him like answering the question, like, what
Yeah.
are we even doing talking about this today?
Why are we still talking about it?
This creep. He called him a creep. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the Jews.
Oh.
Me and Josh were brainstorming
I don't think that.
titles for this episode.
I was going to say just call it It's Brittany, bitch.
We're going to call it
That ain't
episode
bad.
100. It's way better
it's
than mine.
episode 100.
All
Yeah.
right, well, that's fine.
But
too.
a couple fun play on words with HR is one is HR tarded,
Yeah.
or HR stands for hard R.
That's
I think both of those might get her in trouble.
Yeah,
but
that's a slow burn. That second one's a little bit of a slow burn. You have to really, because you got to think about
It's
it.
a gasper, Brittany.
I think whenever you have to think about it for a while, you're being racist when you're thinking about it.
Yeah, and that's on you, the
Yeah,
viewer.
so it's not on us for
yeah,
putting it
no,
out there.
Not this guy in the overalls.
No, right. With the baseball socks on. Dude
Shit
ain't
gets
wore a
deep.
baseball glove in 30 years.
She gets deep. This is rodeo garb.
Rodeo guard.
It'll
That's
say it's
radio
probably
guy.
the-
Speaking
Yeah.
of,
Thursday, this episode comes out. Saturday, Litchfield, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, you doing another one?
Another rodeo.
already.
Yep. This Saturday.
Now you're experienced. You know what to expect now.
Yeah,
This
I know
ain't
what
your
to
first
expect.
So
rodeo.
you're the clown or the announcer?
The clown.
The clown.
There is Wes was the announcer for the first 15 minutes of the rodeo. The actual announcer had appendicitis and was in the hospital. He left the ER, came straight to the rodeo. And, I mean, you'd have never known. This
Yeah.
man had appendicitis.
Well, I don't think he did.
tough.
He ended up having, from what I understood.
Big poops.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Gas.
He had something going
had
on.
shit.
No. This man's spleen was rupturing, and I
Well, I mean,
fully
I
believe
mean,
it.
I mean,
I guess that would be your appendix.
I mean,
they wouldn't name appendicitis after your spleen, would they?
No.
I mean, I'm not saying the guy's not a big, strong fella because he definitely is. But like he said to us
Defend
up there
his honor.
in the booth that it ended up not being appendicitis. I don't remember what he said
Yeah.
it was, but
But I had a headset down in the ring with the bulls, and me and him were feeding off each other the whole night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, we didn't have that luxury. Whenever I was announcing, I did like the first 30, 40 minutes or so.
We were
whenever.
pretty
It was-
nervous. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was in the ring with like 20 bulls.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was
In that
doing
time
out
There
span.
were 12 and 13-year-old boys riding them.
They started at like 5 years old. They started at like
there. There was
5.
a couple of them. That I
Never
got-
show weakness. Never show
There was
weakness.
Yeah.
two of them.
Get
Yeah,
over
the
five.
only pain that matters is the pain you inflict.
That's right. Did I tell you I had a dream the night that I killed Coach Kilmer?
Coach
Yeah, it's crazy.
Kilmer, Varsity Blues. If you don't know,
Kilmer's Coyotes.
Yeah.
Kilmer's Coyote.
If it ain't Johnny Moxie.
Yeah, he didn't coach the year after that. and I went to prison. Then I woke up getting asked about allergy medicine. It was a fucking
Yeah.
great dream. I got woke up from that dream asking about where Zyrtec was in my house. And I was like, what the fuck? I just killed
I just killed my coach. Can you give me a fucking
I'm on the way to San Quentin. What are you talking about? I'm getting in the zone right now. I'm putting thumbtacks up my rectum as
I
we
hate to
speak.
say this. I don't want to be too vulgar.
Okay.
But
I mean, I think we've crossed
Melissa,
lines.
when her uterus is shedding,
God,
she's
man.
been
All
having
right,
dreams about me laying
Why
with,
do you got to
with
say
large
it like
women.
that?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be HR appropriate.
That's not HR appropriate.
I don't know. What's the
If
legal
somebody
way to say
says that, they're for sure getting fired.
Menstruating.
Dudes don't need to be saying this shit.
it? It's probably not supposed to be. Men probably not talking about that. in the
I mean, it's the
office.
same thing as the
Say her
shedding
cycle.
thing.
Menstruating's kind of fucking gross.
She has
dude.
dreams about me laying with large women.
Large big
Well,
backs.
I finally got revenge last night. I had a dream that she was fellatioing Logan Paul from behind.
How is that revenge for you?
Because I had a bad dream about her, so I got to tell her about it.
So
just
you're
doesn't
that's
seem good on either
you
side.
lose both of those
Logan Paul had a good time.
with no backlash
This is a
whatsoever.
lose-lose situation.
Yeah. How is that revenge?
Because I got to tell her about my bad dream.
Trying to understand here.
She gets mad at
Make it
me.
make sense.
She gets mad at me when I lay with large women in her dreams.
Okay.
And now I got to get mad
revenge
at her
on her
for
her
fellatioing Logan Paul from behind.
So I got you. I see how your mind works now.
Oh.
So were you like real petty about it, and you were like, "Guess what you did last night?"
Yeah.
Woke up mad. Woke up fired up.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna be mad at her.
You woke up with us.
You just wait. You just wait.
I think it is good though for like dudes to have
5:15 in the morning.
like a little bit of
Guess
ammunition.
what you fucking did?
I got
You're being a real bitch right now.
and they're making coffee all passive aggressive.
You just wait.
Throwing a coffee filter.
She comes in all happy. She comes in, hey, good morning. I bet you are in a fucking I bet you fucking are.
Wish we
Got
could
your
also.
robe, tighten your robe up real fucking tight. God damn it. Like, I bet you are in a good mood. Things you did last night. You better brush your teeth. You better brush your teeth when you come in here kissing on me. Oh, God.
Oh boy.
And if anybody from church or men groups listening,
We have to do a disclaimer at the end of every episode. If my kids are listening,
Nick's friend, maybe Tutley's friend, that goes to men's group. I went to the bathroom. I voiced this. I voiced this out in the group chat a couple days ago.
I don't remember.
you don't read them.
You don't read them.
You
That's
don't
the
read
problem.
I showed the phone to Melissa yesterday. I had 100 text messages waiting on me, and 78 of them were from y'all.
What were you doing?
Well, I mean,
I'm busy. My time is precious. I ain't got time to text all day.
But dude, if he texts you and you don't answer immediately, phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call, phone call.
Y'all are glued to your phones all day.
I'm not
right?
glued to shit.
It's about like calling my mom. What the fuck are you doing besides waiting on my text?
but this guy, I don't remember what his
Selfish, dude. So fucked up. That's a dog. Okay.
I went to the bathroom. I had not spoken 4 words to this guy, and he said, "Man, this doesn't really seem like your scene." And we were at a church event, by the way, and he said, "Man, this doesn't really seem like your scene. What are you doing here?" I was like, well, I mean, I thought that was...
He's a faithful listener of the podcast, or he was, anyway. But he was talking about.
I went into the bathroom, and I don't remember what I said back to him. And I said, and I went to the bathroom, and like started to piss, and I was like, wait a damn minute, what was this guy trying to say about what am I doing here?
It was a young family event. Like everybody there had like kids from 3 years old to like
So
12.
who's this
'Cause
pervert?
It was like inflatables, like water slides and stuff.
No.
I was there to be a barbecue judge that I got denied the ability to do.
What if you just said, I'm here scouting? Shut the fuck up. Some of these kids will be of age here before long.
Yeah.
And then after I get to judge, I was like, well, there's food here, so I guess I'll just stay.
And then he watched fireworks with us.
Yeah, then I watched fireworks. There was no children around.
Weren't allowed around him anyway.
You probably weren't supposed to be there.
I took a little bit of offense to it, and Nick took up for me. He's like, oh, he probably just thought you meant that
said
you should
something
just
after
be
that.
like a men's group or something.
That was like a week ago, though, wasn't it? Like 4 days or
4 days
something?
ago.
Lord, that's 500 text messages ago. I could never find that conversation.
Saturday. Today's Tuesday.
I'd be scrolling. Then have y'all like tried to look back and you'll get all the way back and somebody from the fucking group
Yes.
message will text and it goes all the way back to the beginning. You're like, motherfucker, dude. Put my phone on airplane mode just so I can go back and read these
I was
messages.
trying to get quotes on T-shirts the other day, trying to find graphics in the chat, and I was like,
What about how like Wes keeps talking about t-shirts and me and you like I will see him and I'll like try to like respond but like nobody's ever like entertained his idea on t-shirts and I'm like
y'all are the one. I want hats.
I want shirts
And y'all
too.
want shirts, so I'm trying to do my damnedest. To
I'll
make
tell you
new
what.
I want a
shirts
hat.
Y'all can do either. Y'all can do hats.
Hats are expensive. They're $400 for 20 of them. So
Golly.
Yeah, they're expensive.
yeah,
$40 at price? $40?
So we got to sell them $50 a
piece?
piece just to make money off of them.
Yeah.
Triple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn that off.
My mom.
Yeah.
Oh, she heard you talking about
Well,
it.
I mean, that's from
Do a
that's even
VBS.
from a friend that I got that quote from, but she's also a small business, so it's not like they're working in.
Well, wonder what the
breaking the
people
fourth
would
wall
they
again
rather
here.
have
Why
shirts
don't
or
we do this
hats?
every fucking time?
We already got shirts. You know, they might want a hat. You know,
You ain't gonna listen to him anyway.
I'm not going to listen to them. They don't listen to me. So They're going to do what they want to do. That's
There's
why I don't
some
even
people
text
out there that have listened to over 100 hours of your bullshit.
1,000, over 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah, dude. Can you believe that? I'm trying to indoctrinate them.
We don't have 1,000 hours. There's people that have listened to just 100 hours. Combined, there's over 1,000 hours of listening.
No.
One
Incorrect.
person is listening. We don't have 1,000 hours. We've got 100 episodes, an hour each.
There's some of them that are. We probably got 200.
I don't think. I know what he's trying to say.
Was you in Miss Kurt's class?
I was in Miss Kurt's class. I was in Miss Kurt's class.
Miss Curd was the HR teacher.
That's why I get on Facebook and
Y'all
talk about
had
Kurt's.
HR tarded.
Y'all had an HR teacher?
No, we had special ed.
Oh.
She wasn't really special. She wasn't special ed. It wasn't special ed. It was remedial.
Oh, okay.
So we were one step above special ed. We got to leave classrooms.
What do you mean we?
Me and my buddies. It was in there.
The rest of the
Me
droolers.
and my buddies. Dude, I would go. The only time I had it was math. All right, I didn't like math. Math's fucking boring. I don't
Okay.
see why you gotta need any other than four function math. I've never used algebra.
What'd you say?
PEMDAS.
Four function, like plus, minus, multiplication, division. Four function math.
Okay, well. I mean,
So I would
Unless you're
go in
going to be
there.
an engineer.
My buddy Catario, he faked that he had narcolepsy, so he would just be in class and he just
the
would
what
fake
now? Malario?
fake narcolepsy. His name's Catario.
He's actually
He's an actor.
an actor. He
Yeah.
was on,
He's on-
Abbott Elementary.
Yeah,
So he was good.
yeah.
Was
He would
Naruto?
fake narcolepsy just to
Naruto?
get into this class. So we would be sitting in class and they'd be like Catario, and he'd just immediately fall asleep every fucking
How do
time.
you act if you got something like that? You just be
He never got a fucking diagnosis, as far as I know. He never went to the doctor for it, but they said he had it.
Okay.
So
Who said they had it?
he did.
Catario.
God damn,
Told
man.
all his teachers so that he could sleep in
We
class.
need to wrap this up. He's
Yeah,
Oh,
got a
yeah.
fucking
he didn't. English is tough for
I
Wes
mean,
today.
like y'all are saying all these Naruto names. Like,
I
what is
guess
this, Cartoon Network.
You don't know him. We know him.
Yeah.
So it's a little different. He goes by Dupree, actually.
Yep.
Oh,
I know him as Catario.
Very handsome African American man.
Dupree.
Nope. Ain't nothing.
We
no.
just
Big man.
Sinners was good. Speaking of African Americans, that was a good movie.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it was all right. Yeah,
It was
pretty
good.
There you go.
They
pretty good.
They
I actually-
took care of some of Wes's family at the end.
They did. They did. Well, I'm not Irish. I think that's where.
No, not the. I'm talking about the ones that was in the white
white-
robes
Oh,
at the very end.
Man, we had at church, at church camp, we had one of the junior counselors. So it's like someone that's like a freshman, sophomore in college. One of them, he was an African American kid, and we were playing.
We gotta quit saying that. We gotta quit saying that.
black kid. What you want to say?
I can't believe I just said it twice. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting here thinking about me saying that, and you just said it again.
We were having a paint war with like paint powder, and all the kids got togas.
Yeah.
So all these white kids up on top of the hill
God.
were wearing bed sheets, and,
God.
and I was walking up. with him, and he said, "Look at all these white people in sheets." It's so funny, dude. And that was during Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So all day everybody was just high fiving him. Happy Juneteenth, brother.
Oh God.
Happy Juneteenth. I even had ChatGPT make me a meme that was an African American playing basketball.
What? How did you describe it?
why did you
In
need
the-
ChatGPT to do that?
To make a poster. It was a Juneteenth poster.
Different level.
Yeah, and it said "Happy Juneteenth to all basketball Americans."
Please make me in the version of 1986 Utah Jazz.
You could have Googled that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my own personalized
Just look up
Juneteenth
Jimmy
poster.
Kimmel, Carl Malone. Just post
We
that.
should get that printed above
Oh
the mantle.
man.
Well,
Wes likes
I'm
it.
starting to have.
I'm sorry
ideas.
that we got you fired, Brittany.
yeah, dude. She didn't say nothing.
No, she didn't, and put that on the record.
It's on the record. I'll vouch for that.
Yeah, they're gonna bring you in as a witness.
You got 3 questionable character witnesses here.
Do
We're gonna pull him up
do
here.
people get to bring support people in if you're gonna fire them? Do they get to bring a support buddy?
No,
because I'm like,
it's private business.
yeah, it's confidential. Or like two people will get into it and they'll be like, well, did they get in trouble? And I'm like, I'm not telling you. Like,
Yeah, and there's drama everywhere, just like there is in high school. And
Confidential root word there being confidence. That has nothing to do with any of this.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And
All
I'm
right.
sorry
All
I
right.
brought it up. But
Do you wanna-
I saw one guy. Their company did allow support. Like if you were getting fired, they were like, you can bring a support individual,
Like
and
your
he
mom?
and he
Like
Jedi
we
Council?
show up with these retards. Like, hey,
he
man,
hired he
All
hired
right. Hey, he's a good
these
guy.
fucking guys. Look at our messages. We talk all the time.
he hired
Don't look at mine. Look at that.
Right.
he hired a kid's birthday party clown to make balloon animals during his HR yeah,
Like, look at this
meeting.
poster Nick just made. I didn't make that. I told him to stop. I told him to stop doing it.
I was like, hey, man, maybe don't.
Bitch it.
Fibber.
I need my job.
I called somebody a snitch at men's group the other night.
Oh, boy.
And got a big laugh.
Really? That's good. At a place of uplifting,
I'm still
gotta make
thinking
sure to have a
about
roast session.
I'm still thinking about it.
I'm kind of upset that I'm not going to make it to this next rodeo. I'm going to be in Grundy, Tennessee. This
Grundy.
What's in Grundy?
Hey, well, there's an auction. Well, I went down to the Grundy County auction.
I don't think
There's
that's.
a.
And I saw something I just had to have.
No, there's. I'm going to. I'm getting.
I've never
I got a
heard of that.
cabin with some buddies, and we're going to see a show at a place called the Caverns. It's like
Oh
at
yeah,
Los- it's
that's actually in the. It's really close to where Bonnaroo is. The
like,
caverns are.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It'll be 59 degrees in there.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
It's
That'd be
beautiful.
Are y'all not sweating?
nice. No, yeah, dude.
This
it's always
room,
hot in here.
this section of the house was built in 1895.
Like
So
It's the
light,
ghost.
too.
It's the ghost
the
sitting
only
inside
way
you.
for air to get in here is through the doors.
Yeah, those are just
cutting
cutting
through.
through.
Jason-
Those go to
Right.
the kids'
I was
bedrooms.
gonna say JC's probably up there breathing into that thing. Huh?
Yeah, I bet she loved it when I used to smoke that pipe all the time in here.
Just rolling up in there.
Yeah.
I remember when we first started doing the
Straight to her
podcast here because we used to do it at my house. When we first started doing it here, he was like, Melissa said I can smoke in the house one day a week. And he just goes to the tobacco store and be here blazed up.
Yeah, I'd smoke 3 backwoods cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, after they got back from Costa Rica, he had a pack of cigars, and that was the theme of the week.
The warning label on their tobacco products was a guy with his leg cut off.
Yeah, they had pictures.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sick,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, my boy Henry, my wash protege, he brought home like 4 packs of Chinese cigarettes. He was in China for 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
It's
so,
his pie.
I don't think so. I don't
No.
think he's smart enough.
Well, that's one you got to watch. That means he's a good
You
one.
listen to this?
I hope so. Bring him down a peg. Speaking of pegging,
Nobody ever
Wes,
listens this far. This
What?
is the end. We've done lost all of our listeners this far in.
Now they're enthralled to be listening at the end of this episode. I
Oh,
promise.
enthralled. This has been episode 100. Though.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all.
Triple digits.
I never would have thought we got to 100 in a row. We haven't missed.
We haven't missed
one
one
week.
Yo,
We've even had extras
with this dumbass
every Thursday.
that doesn't care to cancel anything.
You know, I don't.
He
give
canceled
a fuck.
one time to watch an F1 race.
The only time that it's ever.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Hey, I'll say I ain't ever missed a single one of the 100, but it's never been a thing to where like it's not been one of us, like 2 of us,
No.
and really recently is the only time me and Nick's ever done one together alone, and
We did one alone, me and you.
Josh did one alone within the past month or whatever, and that's the only time that's ever happened.
Well, you acted like you had some sort of issue, so you could leave Nick and I for 30 days.
I had to go,
Yeah.
man. I had to go get my
Yeah,
life in order.
You talking about?
I took vacation.
you
30
talking about
days.
being
I took vacation from
introverted.
everybody.
Yeah.
I took vacation from everybody
Yeah.
for 30 fucking days. They
Yeah.
took my phone and everything. They said, you ain't talking to nobody.
They wouldn't even let him get Olive Garden delivered.
I remember, dude,
There's
my
gonna be a
first day.
There's gonna be like 90 days here in the next like couple months where y'all are just not gonna see me anymore.
My
I'm
first.
gonna be a space camp.
Would he get drafted?
My first he got some bad stuff coming up. He's gonna go ahead and let us know about the decline of West Willoughby.
He's feeling a real drunk season coming upon us.
I do remember like my first night in there. We
Happy
had
fall, y'all.
like crazy snow, and like you could call 3 times a week. You got 10 minutes 3 nights a week, and it was like you had to take turns with everybody else. You had to make a schedule because they're trying to teach you responsibility and accountability and all this shit. So the first night you're there, though, if you have kids, you can like call home and talk to your kids. Like you get like a 5-minute phone call, say, "Hey, you know, I'm just checking in." Dude, I remember calling, and like there was this dude that I was with in my little bitty like 3-bedroom apartment, and he was like, how come you got to call home? And I was like, I got kids. I was like, they let you call home. I was like, you got kids? He's like, hell no, but I'm about to tonight. He went in there and he called like 4 people, dude. He's in there calling everybody. I was like, well, this is these kind of, I'm in the right place. He didn't even hesitate. He's like, hell no, but I do tonight. I said, hell yeah. I'm sleeping with this guy. He's going to be in my room.
We have a mutual friend that went to rehab with the lead singer for Kings of Leon.
Oh, yeah?
And is still close with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So
really
I didn't have anybody
songs
cool
off the top of my head, but I'm aware of the name.
Yeah.
You somebody.
Oh, that's nice, Josh.
Yeah.
That was nice.
They got some good tunes, man.
Drops of Jupiter or something.
That's fucking train.
Close.
Drop Jupiter.
Yeah, even close. Those guys went to rehab a long time ago. They've been around a while. I think that's part of being an entertainer. You got to have one person in the group that's been to rehab. So I went ahead and did that for y'all.
Thank
So
you.
we're good to go.
I know. I think it's funny every week that it's the most difficult to wrangle you two, and you're the 2 sober ones.
Kids,
I'm
man,
here.
families. Yeah, we're
I'm
here.
here. It's this son of a bitch.
It's this son of a bitch right here.
No,
dude.
it's not.
Well, you don't answer the phone. Well, you don't answer text.
Yeah, but you can trust that I will. Whatever I say, I do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I did it, and I'll do it again.
I have no problem saying that sometimes I just miss. I don't even care.
He's running out of PTO.
Yeah, I am running out of PTO. Everywhere I've ever been, I've ran out of fucking PTO.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
That
dude.
tracks.
I remember my granddad told me, he said, that boy right there, he's got a lot of quit in him. You got me
That boy
paid.
not going to amount to a whole
Well,
lot.
he's going to do what he wants to do. You better
Yeah.
count on that.
He didn't know that we would have some kind of bullshit like this come up
No.
that you could fall back onto. It's
Right.
like, what's he doing now?
Talking
God,
in the-
that lazy sucker.
I know, he sits down, talks in a microphone.
And records himself.
I know. I
Nonsense.
have family that is like, what do you? It's like I was like, I mean, I do my normal job that I make pretty good money at. I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, humble brag, humble brag.
Yeah. Don't worry about my bank account.
Don't worry about my fucking
Aunt
financial
Linda.
situation.
Like,
Yeah.
you just do this podcast.
I do that to
I'm like,
pay
yeah,
for
I
this.
drive up here on my own time. I don't make any money off of this.
Well, we ain't getting paid. We paying to do it. This is for y'all. 100 times over and over and over and over and over. Here we are.
Expensive.
We haven't killed each other.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I don't think we will.
Wanted to die a few times, but
Oh, we've definitely had some arguments. That's for
We
sure.
definitely.
let's pick one right now. Let's
definitely
have a
did.
good old fashioned debate.
I remember one time
Oh.
Nick got mad at me, and because I wouldn't, not that I did it on purpose, but I got busy or something, and I can be bad sometimes about maybe bulldozing ideas, or maybe just we'll get to it later. Well, then I think I hurt his feelings because he sent me a message the next day, and I'm like, dude, I really hurt his fucking feelings. Then he wouldn't answer my phone call for like 2 fucking days, and I'm like, golly, I really hurt this guy's feelings. And then when I finally ran into him, motherfucker didn't say nothing about it. I'm like, hey, you ever fucking send me none with them text messages again? Don't answer the phone. There's
I
gonna be
just
some
needed to
problems.
stew over it for a couple days
Like
and
we're-
decided I was the bigger man.
Okay. Okay. I told Christy, I said, this motherfucker's just like my brother. Send me some bullshit message on Saturday morning.
Stayed up thinking about it all night.
This fuck all night.
And then Monday, I was like, I don't care enough about this son of a bitch.
Josh is going to hear it. Fuck him. Fuck him. He's going to hear about it.
Yeah.
It's also, I'll be honest, it's a little bit like the time that I came up. I don't even remember what I was coming up for, to be honest. May have been for the pot. I don't think it was to come record or anything. But I was coming to hang out with Nick and you, and Nick was like, meet me at my house. And I got there, and I was outside for 30 freaking minutes banging on the door.
What were you doing?
He was in the shower.
I don't tell
He
you.
knew
how
I
long
was
ago.
coming. And he never
Let
locked the
yourself
door.
in. Oh, you had
Maybe
to
I was
lock it. You're
coming.
in the shower.
Maybe I was coming.
Well, you
Yeah,
saw
that's
how he
true.
greeted me. Josh had to greet me.
Yeah, he was in the shower. I
In the
said,
shower.
sit out there forever. I think
I
go
use
here and
that-
get her.
I use that bathroom twice a week, and it just so happens when
Twice a
y'all show up.
week. He had to today. It smelled like bleach.
His neighbors were outside. This was on Leon Street, and his neighbor was outside, and there was a cop. Whoever lived next to you, I don't know him, but one of them was a cop, and I was out there just slamming on the door, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm trying to get in the damn house.
Trying to
I'm
break into this fucking house. Do you mind?
I was like, this guy knew I was coming up here for the last week. The door's locked. What the hell's going on?
There's stuff in there I want. The only thing stopping me is this door, and I'm going to get through it.
He never tried to turn the knob.
I was just up here 2 weeks ago. The whole damn that was whenever all that shit fell off the wall.
Oh yeah. I had a bunch of shelves. This is like 10% of the shelves that I have. This closet, all these are full of decor.
Yeah, you had all kinds of knickknacks on the wall.
Knickknacks.
I had so many knickknacks on one shelf it collapsed and took all the rest of the shelves with it. Family heirlooms,
like a Home Alone
I
situation.
was going to ask, is that
He was mad as
shoddy
fuck.
workmanship, or was it a ghost?
It was too much weight.
He said, "I said, hey man, how's it going? Well, everything that I've ever loved and kept,
My most prized possession.
that I've managed to keep through everything in my life, fell off the wall,
Yeah.
and I don't know what's broken, what's not yet. I haven't went in there. I just heard it, and it didn't sound good.
I thought somebody broke in the house. The living room was covered in knickknacks and scotchies.
I'm glad I got to see it before it fell because it was a nonsense amount of shit on the wall.
He's got so much.
And it was 30 minutes worth of looking at shit. Like, what is this?
He's got so much shit.
It's a samurai sword that a crackhead carved me.
Everything that he's got,
You're looking at it now.
Everything he's got's fucking breakable.
Fragile.
Fragile.
Or I
For
feel
Julie.
like anywhere he goes, he's got to just grab him a little souvenir.
At least a
I
rock.
see a few things in my house in here.
I'm honestly surprised there's not more rocks
I think I'm
in
missing
here.
a few things
There's your
from my
brother-in-law holding a chicken bass.
Nice. There he is.
Yeah.
Drewski.
Nick, you want to lead us out here? I think
I
you're
would
ready.
love
Brittany,
to.
thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, I
Gang.
got something to say, but I ain't got time to stop, so I think I'll just yell it out the window.
This has been
Fine by me.
Like, share, subscribe. Y'all ain't gonna do it, but thanks.
HR tarded.
See ya.
Love y'all. Take it easy.
Thanks, Britt, for coming on.
Thank y'all.
West Coast, yes, 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 one